Hey, welcome back to the On the Front Row podcast. I'm Archie.
I'm Harry.
And I'm Tom, and this week was the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Yeah, we just had to remind Harry that it was the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix because before starting this podcast, he went, "What race was it?"
Yeah, I completely forgot where it was. I'm not gonna lie. But I did
And
remember.
what do you mean you don't remember?
I did remember
What did you remember? The race?
where it was. Yeah, it took me. It took me
Okay.
a minute or so, but I got there in the end.
Oh, great. Well, it's a cracking start for this already fucked up podcast.
Yeah.
So, something very notable happened this weekend.
Go on.
An Australian is leading the championship for the first time since 2010.
And it's deserved.
So deserved. Oscar Piastri is now our championship leader. I've spotted a Instagram reel that's pointed out that he only performs unbelievably well in countries that have sketchy human rights. And I
Right.
want to know if there's any truth to that. What do you think, Harry?
What do I think?
Yeah. What do you think about the human rights in those countries?
Well, this isn't a political podcast, so I'm not
It
gonna
is now.
get into it.
It can be.
Yeah, we can easily make it political.
No.
It really can be.
I'd like to
You
make
can
it
talk about
political.
it. You go for it, mate. Go ahead.
Harry, Israel or Palestine?
Oh.
That's not being kept in.
That is
Oh.
be kept in. It's a good joke.
No, it's not.
Oh, fucking. Oh, think of the sponsors. Think of the sponsors.
No.
Spotify won't allow this. But yeah, no. Oscar Piastri is winning the championship after Norris bottled yet another qualifying.
Yeah, it wasn't very good Q3 for Norris.
No, it was not. But when is it ever? He didn't start on pole though, so it wasn't as dominant as he was last weekend. That was Max Verstappen, and I think we can already see he's getting a bit desperate. He's already going, oh shit, I need to get ahead of this quick. Because he had absolutely no intention of making the first corner. He just went full fucking pelt and then went, Piastri pushed me off. It's like, no, you were never going to make that corner.
Yeah, Piastri was ahead into the first corner, the first part of that corner. The second part, obviously, yes, Verstappen was ahead, but then he just decided to carry on straight.
You would be if you didn't turn.
Yeah, exactly. But Piastri, to the start of that, what is it? I think it's the start of those first two corners, he was ahead. And realistically, if you're ahead at the first corner, it's very likely you're going to come out ahead at the second one as well. So,
Not necessarily. If you go down the outside, like Max could have done, he would have been on the inside of that second corner, pushed Piastri wide, and then he would have done that, and then he wouldn't have ended up with a 5-second penalty. But he just decided, fuck that corner, and just went straight across the track.
it's very common for the start of that race that someone goes flying off the track, but it just didn't help that he was on pole. Because there's a few people that went off and got cut across that bit further back, but they didn't get any penalties. But
well, he was lucky he didn't get a 10-second apparently, because that was in the talks. Because there was just no attempt at making the corner, so they were like, "Yeah, that's just blatant."
yeah,
But no, he got 5 second, which he then served in the pits, which meant Piastri came out in first.
it didn't do that after all the rest of the pit stops and such. He wasn't doing.
No, yeah. I think we should talk about the other McLaren driver and what's been going on recently, because he's still second in the championship, but there's like a good 10 points now between him and Piastri, and that gap is only going to keep going. But this weekend he was just like, the race itself, he was just a mess. Like that cut across the white line in the pit entry.
Yeah, I think he's just
arguably going across the exit as well. It's just like,
yeah.
I can't remember I don't think he ended up with a penalty for it. It was just under investigation. But
yeah, he didn't end up with a penalty, but it was just one of those ones you could tell he's desperate and he's trying to make up as much time as he can, but he's probably better off being smoother going into the pit. That probably would have been quicker than him having to slam the brakes on. Like, yes, okay, he's changing his tyres straight away, but just not worth it. Like realistically, the extra few milliseconds that saved him wasn't going to matter.
Well, I don't think it was him trying to gain speed. I think it was just him making rookie mistakes. Pressure's getting to him, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not surprised.
I'll say, Tom, what are your thoughts? Because Norris is your absolute favourite driver on the grid.
Yeah, love him. No, I told you, I've been on Norris hate watch since 2021. He's well, he says he's not comfortable with the car, but
Bollocks.
it's sort of a car that was built around Norris. To be honest, he's proven already this season. We're what, 5 races in? He's proven this season he's not championship material because he can't do well under pressure. You've got the likes of Charles Leclerc, who can handle the pressure. He just got dealt a really shit hand in 2022 by being at Ferrari.
And in 2023 by being at Ferrari.
Yeah.
And
Hamilton
2024 by being at Ferrari.
Yeah, they were never going to win it last year. Hamilton, 7-time world champion, can deal with pressure. Max is Max. Piastri, literally, he is now got to be McLaren's number one. There's no.
To be fair, the thing with Piastri I think the thing with Piastri that sets him aside to Norris is that I don't think he's not got any pressure to perform well. Like, yeah, of course he needs to perform well, but like he's got no expectations of like. It's his what, third season in F1.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's not really got any expectations of you should really be going for the championship. That's all on Norris. So
What?
I think, huh?
What a load of bollocks! What are you talking about? Of course he's got pressure.
Willis?
I don't think as much as Norris.
No, but it's not about how much. They're both under the same amount of pressure. They both need to win that championship. Norris, yes, he's been at the team longer. He's more experienced in F1, and he's getting his ass handed to him by his newer teammate. But they both still want to go for the championship. It's just how they deal with the pressure.
Of course,
Norris
yeah,
can't handle
they
it.
both want the championship. Of course, but yeah, I just don't think Piastri's. Yeah, obviously Piastri can handle the pressure better. I just don't think he's as Norris is like, I have to win the championship or else everything's gonna my world's gonna collapse. Whereas Piastri's like, yeah.
Well, it's
So
like what I was saying. I said during the race is that it goes to show when Miami last year, Norris won his first race and he celebrated it like it was the world title. Piastri's first race for him was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like he understands that that's not the be all and end all. His end goal is to be
world champion. Yeah, his first race was the Hungarian one, wasn't it?
Yeah, which
you can't
again,
really.
Norris relinquished that, but
yeah, it's a bit of a shit
it was
way
also
to win your first race.
Yeah, but it was also Oscar's race to win. It's just Lando again was struggling, so he got put on the priority strategy, which it just goes back to what we were saying about how he's not consistent enough, and Piastri is nothing but consistent.
Mm.
But other than that, it wasn't really that much of an eventful race. Obviously, we had Gasly and Tsunoda lap 1 incident.
Tsunoda didn't really have a great weekend.
Yeah, but we all looked at that and we kind of just went, that's not either of their faults. That's purely just Jeddah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was a
To be
complete
honest,
race incident.
They have both said that. They have both said it was a racist incident.
A racist incident?
racist
I don't think
incident.
I don't think race had anything to do with it.
No, I'm reading here and yeah, like Tsunoda said it's a race incident. To be honest, Gasly, he said it's an unfortunate outcome. But he wasn't really like they basically asked, do you think Tsunoda should get a penalty? And he didn't flat out say no, he shouldn't get a penalty, but he also didn't say yes, He should. He was sort of I think from what I'm reading, he's in two minds about it. Again, I think it's a race incident. When we saw it,
Yeah, there's
no,
nothing.
there's nothing there
There's
really.
nothing
Like,
either of the drivers could have done.
I mean, that's the problem with Jeddah is that obviously that turn one you've got a runoff area, right? But it's still like a straight to a chicane, and then the next corner is then a really, really tight left. There's a barrier on the inside. There's a runoff area on the outside. Sonoda couldn't have gone anywhere. Gasly
Yeah.
couldn't really have gone anywhere. It was bound to happen. When all the cars are going to be that bunched up on a track that narrow, it's bound to happen.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things that happens. It's unfortunate for both. I mean, Tsunoda, didn't have a fantastic weekend. He crashed in FP2.
Mm.
He qualified. What was it? He qualified 8th, which is good. He's improving. Every qualifying he's getting better. So
Again, that's what they need. They just need him to improve and improve,
exactly.
which he will do. But that incident could have happened with anyone.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Especially in that midfield pack like that. It's tight. It's fine margins. You can't really.
Exactly, yeah.
And we both know that Gasly and Tsunoda are fantastic drivers, and they wouldn't. It's exactly what we've said it is. It's just a racing incident. They can't really do anything about it. That was about it, really. Honestly, again, it wasn't that much of an exciting weekend. There wasn't many overtakes. There wasn't many. Oh, there was a very good overtake from Piastri though on Hamilton.
Oh yeah, that was unreal.
Oh my fucking god!
that was a very good. There was also nearly a murder with Gabriel
Yes.
Bortoleto.
Yes, and Alonso. Yeah, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, that
That
was.
was.
What was
Sorry.
Bortoleto doing?
Fuck knows. I have no idea. Being Bortoleto, he's shit.
No, he went. Oh, right, Tom. Come
No,
on, man.
he is. He is. Like
You
we
can't say shit. He's
we
in the
had this-
worst car on the grid.
Yeah, look at Hulkenberg. We had this conversation yesterday. Like, it's unfair on him. He's a rookie. He's coming to the worst team, but it still does not make it. He isn't good. Hulkenberg, I understand, has experience, but he's still dragging that heap of shit car.
Yeah, but that's what Hulkenberg's done his entire career. He's just dragged pieces of shit car to positions where they shouldn't be. Bortoleto is
dragging.
okay. Yes, he won.
cars
He
to
won
last.
F2. He won F2, which is a feat in itself. But you can't expect him to be in the worst car on the grid and not like. He's pushing the car as best he can, but he's not going to learn anything because he's not going to really be in.
Yeah, he's not going to race anyone. To be honest, it was also the first time he's qualified last. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading Lando Norris's thoughts.
Is it I'm completely
No,
inadequate and I should.
think I want both of your opinions on this. So I'm just going to read out the little statement that he's said, right? And like once I've finished, I want both your opinions. So he's put, I think it was the best that we could achieve today. Clearly, we're not head and shoulders above the rest. As Oscar showed, it's not an easy race. Max probably would have won if he hadn't had the penalty. We've still got issues. It's not easy races, which just means that when I make mistakes like yesterday and like some other races, I'll make my life pretty tough. I just want to know, like, I still personally don't think Max wins, regardless of whether he has that penalty.
No.
I mean,
that's my.
he was.
my thought.
I don't know what Piastri, what the strategy was, but Max was pushing away from him.
Yeah, but I reckon that's because they already knew he had a 5-second penalty. All Oscar needed to do was stay close to him.
Yeah,
he didn't need. There's no need for him to push his tires.
Yeah, so it would have been. It would have been a completely different race if Verstappen didn't have that penalty. 100%.
I reckon it would have been a bit more of a nail biter, but regardless, that penalty was deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, fair play to Norris in some regard for saying, oh, I've made some rookie mistakes and stuff like that. But he also can't turn around and say we haven't got the fastest car on the grid.
Yes, but this is
He
3
didn't say
weeks
we
in
haven't
a
got the
row.
fastest. He said we got. It's not as.
It's not as quick as everyone makes it out to be.
It's not.
not
Yeah.
No,
the
it's not a 2023 Red Bull situation. No,
No.
but he's still got the fastest car,
But
and
the
he's
thing
also
is,
been the spearhead of developing that fastest car.
this is 3 races in a row. He's basically said the same thing. And at some point, you've got to look and think, well, maybe it's you, and it's not the car.
God, you fucking really hate Norris, don't you?
No, it's not even a case of hating Norris, right? Again, I am an avid Norris hater, and I love seeing the downfall. But you can't just say it's the car. Like, there is some points you have to just take ownership. Yeah, he's finally done that now, but he's still saying, "Oh, well, the car's not that good, not as good as everyone makes it out to be." Oscar Piastri has proven now, 2 weeks in a row, that the car's good.
Yeah, it's
Like,
definitely Norris's.
I'm not being
the
funny.
problem.
Oscar Piastri had a shit pit stop as well. He literally had a slow pit stop, and still managed, and he made overtakes. Like, I think he's making excuses for the sake of it now, because he knows he crumbles under pressure.
Thing is, he's only half blaming himself when it is only himself to blame. Like, he's making stupid mistakes. He's not qualifying well. It is literally he's cracking under pressure, but there's no pressure yet. It's how many races are we in now? Was it the fifth
Oh,
race? Fifth race. There is 19 more races to go, and he's already written the season off. Like, no, anything could happen. The
Yeah.
next thing, I don't know if you've seen this. Someone's done like the papaya prophecy. Have any of you seen that?
Yeah.
No.
Briefly. Yeah.
And they're basically listing off the eventualities of what's going to happen. And we're currently at like stage 10 of Piastri takes lead of the championship. The next one is the two McLarens have a bit of an incident. I reckon that is going to happen, and I reckon that is going to be Norris's fault. The end of the papaya prophecy
Is Oscar wins.
is Oscar Piastri wins.
Yeah.
And he
It's-
will.
It's simple. And to be honest, Zach Brown needs to fucking use his eyes and realise that Norris isn't that good. He's not world championship material.
No, I think Norris is a good driver, but he, like you say,
I can name
he's not
5
world
drivers
champion
better
material.
than Norris.
Go on.
Piastri, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Gasly, Russell, Antonelli. There's 7.
You cut out. You cut out. You need to.
Oh, do you want me
start
to rename the 7 that I had? Okay.
Do it a bit slower.
Piastri,
Yeah.
Verstappen,
Yeah.
Russell,
Russell. Yeah.
Leclerc.
Uh-huh.
At this point, Antonelli,
Mm,
Sonoda,
I don't know about Antonelli.
Hamilton, Gasly, Lance Stroll. There's so
Okay.
many.
Right.
There's
Okay. Right.
so many better than Norris. He's fucking shit.
You had me up to Sonoda.
No, I don't care. I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down.
Mate, what is going on with your microphone? You literally keep cutting out.
Fuck your microphone.
Fuck you.
Sorry, I just get, the microphone doesn't like Lando Norris hate watch.
Oh fuck off, Archie.
Yeah, I remembered.
Yeah.
Anyway, going on from Norris, we did have a little chat about it yesterday when we were watching the race, but how do we think that Doohan's season is going?
About how I expected, to be honest. I think he's doing it a little bit better than I thought. Obviously the car's not there, we know that, but that was his sort of chance today to prove that he could have done more, I think. I mean, I imagine the car is not suited for a track like that. but he didn't quali overall that well compared to Gasly. Gasly's Gasly, but I don't know. I think they've already confirmed that they're going to keep him at least till season break, but I think they need to give him that security of knowing you will be here to the end of the year. How you perform across the year will determine whether you stay next year. Not constantly have him as, oh, you've only got 5 races, or you've only got 8 races, or you've only got to the season break. You know, they can't do that and expect him to perform well. But again, he's not that notable. Like, where did he finish? Where was he?
17th, so second last.
Yeah, because there was 2 DNFs. So one of them was his teammate. It's just, I don't know. I don't know about him. He's certainly not a generational talent.
He's no Mick doing, is he?
He's no Mick Schumacher. No, he's I wouldn't say he's a Nikita Mazepin or a Nicholas Latifi. I'd say he's a good driver, but I wouldn't say he's outstanding from what I've seen anyway. But you could argue the same about Bortoletto. But
I mean, he was the first few races he was in and around where Gasly was, like a couple of positions lower than him in qualifying and stuff like that, which was like, it's fair enough. He's a rookie, but I think especially this race. I mean, where did he qualify? I can't see his qualifying standings.
no, because the fucking F1 admin's useless. We get most of our news from like the F1 Instagram, right? So we like to check out where they've all qualified and things like that. But they just don't bother.
He qualified 17th. Gasly qualified 9th. And then Gasly was in the points before we crashed. And probably would have stayed in and around the points.
He wouldn't have stayed in the points. There's no way.
Around there. And doing just at the back the whole race pretty much.
Yeah, it's not. He wasn't even sniffing at points.
No,
at any given point yet.
He was sniffing around 14th, 15th, which realistically, that Alpine, okay, it's not great, but it's better than that.
I mean, if we look at it, he's finished where he started. But the problem is, where was Bortoletto was last, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that means Hulkenberg and Ocon overtook him. And if it wasn't for Tsunoda and Gasly going out, he would have finished 19th. You know, it's not. I'm saying his qualifying's all right because again, we know that Hulkenberg and Ocon are quick, so his qualifying isn't awful. Again, because it's where the car is. It's no Gasly qualifying, but Gasly's special breed, isn't he? He's different.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot more experienced, and he's just, again, he's quick. But I don't know, doing man. I'm very on the fence about him. It could go either way. Do I think swapping Colapinto out for him is a good idea? No. But I can't help but think that Alpine. I don't know what other driver they could look at though. That's their issue. Does that make sense? I'd like most of their driver academy is fucked off to other teams. So
Let's have a look at academy.
Huh?
Let's have a look at
I think the only one they've got an F2 at the minute is Gabriel Mini.
Victor Martins, is he still Alpine?
No, he's
gone to Williams now.
Oh, this is outdated.
Yeah.
The Alpine ones are.
That's just
Which mine,
2023. Brilliant.
Cushy Manny, that's it.
He's still there.
And Gabriel Mini.
I mean,
That's it.
Cushy Manny is never going to be an F1. Right. No. I'm sure he's good in F2. He'll never be an F1.
Yeah.
Mini, I can see it, but it will be next year. But by that point, again, there's not much point because I wouldn't say how's he
Oh.
doing in F2?
They've still got Aaron. There you go. There's another one.
Okay,
Yeah.
Aaron is the only reasonable contender in my eyes for that second Alpine seat. But again, it's bringing on another rookie. I can't think of anyone on the grid now who would want to go to that team, bar from maybe Lawson, because I think his career at Racing Bulls is going to be over by this year. That is the only other person I can even consider going to Alpine. Maybe next year they'll be good with the Merc engine, but from what we've seen, next year's regulations are going to be fucking awful anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I
gonna
literally can't. I can't think of anyone that would go, oh, I know what would be a positive career move for me. Alpine.
Fuck it. Bring Mazepin back.
Mate, honestly, I hear it. Bring him back, because what the worst they can do is just bring a shitload of sponsor money.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Speaking of which, there is obviously going to be a new team on the grid next year, and that's Cadillac.
It is indeed.
Oh, who do you think we've been discussing it? Who do you think the driver lineup is going to be? Obviously, I think the main one's going to be Sergio Perez.
Whoever I said yesterday, I forgot.
Thank
Drugovic.
you. Drugovic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about Drugovic. Harry.
I don't know.
Harry doesn't know. He doesn't know what fucking race it was.
Yeah, Harry. It's the year's 2025.
Okay, thank you, mate.
Oscar Piastri's leading the title.
I am aware of that.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know Cadillac. They could go one or two ways. They could go obviously, yeah, have like a big sponsor, have like someone bringing a big sponsor. So that would be Checo, just to pump money into the team.
Echo. I didn't realize you're on first name nickname basis with him. That's.
I know, Jesus Christ.
Okay,
I didn't. If you're that
Sergio
familiar, why don't
Perez.
you get him on? If you're that familiar with him, why don't you get him on the podcast? I'd love to speak to him.
You know, he's busy.
What, being shit?
Right.
He's busy sorting out his Cadillac seat. Yeah, the second one I really don't know, because they could obviously take from the Formula 2 pool, like you said, like having like. Why is Drugovic isn't even in Formula 2 anymore, is he? Where's Drugovic?
No, he races for Cadillac in fucking IndyCar or
okay.
some
Yeah,
bullshit.
so
He's with Cadillac, basically.
yeah, so that'll be quite an obvious choice. But then they could also bring in some American as well. You never know.
So you've got Colton Herter,
Exactly.
our boy Logan Sargent, or Zach
They're not
Crawford.
going to get Logan Sargent
Why?
because Logan Sargent was shit.
So's what?
And Logan Sargent's already said he's not going to be doing racing anymore. So
Yeah, ain't he like kicking back on like a farm or something? The
I
last
think
thing
so.
I saw
Yeah.
him, yeah, I think he was just.
I reckon he's hanging around with his war criminal uncle.
What is he currently doing? He's jack shit is what he's currently doing. Bit of golf. He's playing a lot of golf. Respect. Well, fuck
Fair.
it. How did everyone's fantasy do?
That is, I actually haven't checked it. I know my projected looked all right, but I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah, my projected looked decent, but I think obviously I had.
Well, I'm 8 points behind you actually, so we're coming back. I got 173 points.
Not bad.
That's even with doing the fuck up with Max Verstappen on 2 times boost.
I ended with
Okay.
160.
He somehow got the same points as Piastri. You got what? 162. Decent.
162. I got 127. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorted for the next race. By the way, my team's looking tidy now.
Well, we came up with a rule. We was going to get rid of both of the McLarens because it's boring.
Fuck. Well, I forgot about that.
So that's the new rule we're imposing. Don't go for like the obvious choices because it's not fun.
What can I at least tell you? My team that I've managed to get with money left over.
It isn't real. I've seen it.
Piastri, Verstappen, Behrman, Hulk. I got George Russell. I managed to get him in there as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Don't know how I've done that. Aston.
Oh, Aston Martin and who?
Your microphone's gone, man. His internet's gone.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll never find out who we had after Aston Martin.
We'll never know.
So it looks like
We're back on.
there we go. You're
We
There
back.
you go. You're
Aston
back.
Martin and who?
Fucking internet at Sauber.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So are we doing?
So
So basically, we can still put McLaren in for next race.
Yeah, because I've done it now. I forgot about that.
So and I'm putting
oh,
Piastri in
for
then.
fuck's sake. No.
Yeah, we'll do it from the race after.
Oh shit!
We'll do it from the race
Because
after.
I fucking remembered. I'm gonna get punished for it. Fuck yous.
How have you figured that one out? We can do it for the Miami race, but we have to change it afterwards.
Yeah, but I fucking already changed mine.
You didn't have
Oh,
it
that-
anyway. You didn't have a
that's
McLaren
true.
driver in there anyway.
Yeah, I know, but that means
Yeah,
you both
that's
have
your own
McLaren
fault then.
drivers, so now I'm fucked.
Not necessarily.
No, actually, you were fucked anyway because I've got Max and Russell.
I can both eat my ass.
Like, you, regardless, you were fucked. You're gonna
You
be
can eat
last.
you can both eat my whole arsehole.
Yeah, you're gonna be last in Miami.
Right,
yeah,
have a
I've-
think. Right, I'm gonna fuck around with it more. Right, who?
Well, you've done your transfers. You don't want to be taking
I
points.
haven't yet. I lied. I just wanted to make you feel bad.
Yeah, but you don't make me feel bad. I don't care.
I've changed mine round. So I've
Right,
got.
I'm gonna apply a chip.
I've now got Piastri.
How the fuck-
Limitless transfers. I'm fucking doing this from scratch.
Fair. Gone for
Oh,
Piastri,
that's how
Gasly.
you do.
Okay, cheers, Tom.
Yeah, shut up. You can carry on. Fucking hell.
I've gone for Piastri, Gasly, Hadjar, Behrman, Albon, and then still obviously got Ferrari and Williams.
Right, Russell's gone in. Piastri's gone in.
Yeah, so next week I'll swap out Piastri for either Verstappen or Russell. I think I'll see how this race goes this weekend or next weekend,
Verstappen's in.
and then we'll work it out from there.
I'm not putting Verstappen in. That's boring. Kimi Antonelli in. Alex Albon
Yeah, that's a big
in.
shot actually. And Kimi Antonelli. How much is he?
Isaac Hadjar in. Constructors. I don't know how much money. It says I've got infinite cost cap left, so I might as well just put.
Yeah, it's limitless. So unlimited transfers allowed with no cost cap, but you only obviously get that for a week. So
Kimi Antonelli's 19.6. Okay.
Oh, if that's the case then. Fucking Red Bull McLaren done.
yeah, I was gonna say if you're gonna
No, I'm getting my money back.
Oh, no.
Lando Norris in. Fuck it.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say.
I've got for next race. I've got George Russell, Piastri, Kimi Antonelli, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris. My constructors are McLaren and Red Bull. Fuck yous.
Jesus.
I'm getting my fucking money's worth.
Oh yeah, you got it.
And Piastri's gonna get my DRS boost. Watch him DNF.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna be fucked if he DNFs.
There you go. You guys are fucked.
Am I though? Because
Yeah, you're fucked.
How
Oh,
do
I'm raking in bank next weekend.
So funny if two of them crash.
Wait, do you know,
Oh,
what, do you
mate,
know what's even funnier? He's just told us he's used limitless. So nothing's
Yeah.
stopping us from using limitless and doing the same.
I'm just going to use it later on in
yeah.
the season.
It resets every week.
No, you only get it once for the season. Now that you've used it, that's it.
Great.
You can't use it again.
That's fine. I don't care. I need a shake around. My consistency is not helping me. I need just sheer power.
Yeah,
Cool.
fair.
That's that. What else?
I guess we can talk about Ferrari getting their first podium, kind of just how we feel they've done and how they've been over the season.
I don't understand how they quali so well but can't put that into the race.
Well, that's
Because
how well Leclerc's
Lewis
been
Hamilton's
qualifying.
washed.
Leclerc's been the one that's been qualifying well. Hamilton's been
Yeah, Hamilton's washed.
Pretty off it. He's learning the car though. It's a new car for him, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, but he's a 7-time world champion and one of the most experienced drivers on the grid. It shouldn't be an issue for him. Someone of that caliber, it shouldn't be an issue. But it is.
mm,
Do you reckon he regrets leaving Merc?
No,
no.
Really?
no. He
Okay, then do you think he regrets joining Ferrari?
No,
No.
he's always wanted to race for Ferrari, and to be honest, I don't think he wanted to be at Merc last year or the year before that. It's just
Yeah, it's one of those
no
ones.
team.
You can tell he's coming to the end of the career. He's going to retire at Ferrari. It's just been his dream to race for Ferrari. I think it's probably every F1 driver's dream to race for Ferrari. So he's had the opportunity to do it. He's taken it.
Why is it a dream to race for Ferrari? I don't
Because
understand.
they're like the staple team, aren't they? They've literally been in F1 since it started. Like they
Yeah, but
are
I
the
don't-
F1 team.
But it's a career ender. Like
Yeah, well, he's at the end of his career.
look at every driver that's been there, right? The caliber of driver that have gone to Ferrari and they can't win. Surely, people start looking at it and go, it's not really a good move. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
but
you
I
might get
don't
some
think he's
podiums, you might get a couple of race wins.
I don't
fine,
think he's
but you're
there
not going to win a title.
No, obviously, yeah, he wants to win his 8th or his first with Ferrari, whatever it is. But I also think he's there. He's just for the end of his career. He's like, yeah, I can tick it off of race with Ferrari.
What do you think he'd do after? Do you think he'd go and do IndyCar? Do you think he'll try anything like that?
No, he'll just chill. Probably go into the fashion business or whatever, or keep going with his
Probably,
non-alcoholic tequila.
Non-alcoholic tequila?
Yep, that's something he
What's the fucking point of that?
Don't know. But he's got it.
Miserable.
He's also got a restaurant as well, which apparently is crap.
Yeah, it's going to be vegan, that's why.
Yeah, it's vegan. But yeah. So do we think that Ferrari are finally on the up now, or was this just a...
No,
no,
they're not on the up.
let's not be fucking silly.
I was going to say, that's taking the piss.
Well, like, are they finally starting to improve, is what I mean.
No.
So you just think it's just a fluke?
Yes. Because if Norris qualified better, he wouldn't have got that podium.
That's true. Great.
I don't know. I don't know what else you want me to say to that. Like, they're not going to be on the up. Any person that says, "Oh, they'll be on the up. They'll be on the up," no, they won't. They'll never be on the up. They'll never go back to the way they were.
Yeah, I don't know what's going wrong with Ferrari at the moment. I don't know what's going on with them.
What do you mean at the moment? They've been bad.
Let's not take the piss. They've been shit for years.
They've been bad coming up to what? How many years is it now since they won a title? 2007. 18. Grow up. Is it actually 18?
Yeah, you dick. It's
Oh my!
2020.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know. I just hearing that word out loud is just, or that number out loud is just sickening.
Sorry, I thought you told me to grow up. That's why I got immediately defensive.
Oh, I thought you meant 2018. I thought
no.
that was my initial
No,
thought. Like,
no.
what are you trying to say?
I was gonna say, fucking thought you would.
I thought you were taking a stance on the 2018 season.
No, yeah, it's been. Fuck yeah, it's been really long.
Well, I don't know what they expect. They're not gonna get that level again. I don't know what it is. It's just it's Italian incompetence.
If you can't, 22 is probably their best chance of winning a constructors, and it's also probably been their best driver lineup they've had for years. If you can't win it with Charles Leclerc, you're not winning it at all.
I honestly think the better driver lineup for what they've currently got, or at that team recently, was Sainz, and
that's what I mean. So Sainz and Leclerc in 2022, that was
yeah.
their best. That was their best chance. If you can't win it with Leclerc as your main driver, you're not going to win it.
Okay. Obviously, there's been some rumors floating around recently as well. Max Verstappen has supposedly received an offer from Aston Martin. I don't know if it's for next year or if it's for 27, but regardless, apparently it's been proposed. Do you think there's any truth to that, and do you think he'd take that move?
I think you have to see how that Red Bull is.
26 season next year, isn't it? Newey will have.
That is the first Newey car.
Yeah, and
I think he'd have to see just where he thinks the Red Bull's going off, because obviously Red Bull are going to have a new powertrain.
Power engine.
A power engine.
Yeah.
Power engine.
I suppose it depends if Max. Well, me and you were having this conversation last night. Actually, it's whether or not Max wants to be in a team that just goes for titles, or he wants to be part of a team that it's sort of like not a rebuild, but a team that
help the team grow.
Yeah. It really depends what stance he wants. Does he stay at Red Bull to do exactly that, or does he jump ship if he knows that Aston's going to be good?
Yeah, I mean, the conversation that sort of led to that was Ayrton Senna. How Senna he was a hot piece of ass, right? Back in the 80s and 90s. And he could go to whatever team he wanted, and he'll just bounce from team to team, whoever's got the best car. He'd never stay at a team and build them up like Schumacher did or like Hamilton did. Do you think Verstappen would do the same? He'll stick at Red Bull until Aston Martin's good, and then he'll make that transfer? Or do you think he would want to get involved and build it up from there? Is basically that whole conundrum. Sort of a bit of food for thought there, I suppose. The other thing I thought to mention is, do you think it's time for Leclerc to leave Ferrari?
Yeah, but where does he go?
I was going to say, where's he going to go to?
Unfortunately, I don't think Leclerc's one of those drivers that has that pull that any team would take him.
Oh, I think he is. I don't think
he is, because I don't think McLaren wouldn't take him. I think they're quite content with their driver lineup.
Well, for now.
I don't think Red Bull would go for him.
The problem is Red Bull might not have a choice if Verstappen leaves.
If Verstappen leaves, I still don't think they move for him. I don't know what they'll do.
Okay, I sincerely think if Verstappen leaves Red Bull will become the 5th best team on the grid. I don't. For many years they've been in the top 3, right?
Yeah.
All of that is gone. They've lost Newey. They've lost most of their staff. Jonathan Wheatley's gone.
They've lost Perez.
Sergio Perez. They might be losing Dr. Helmut Marko. Oh no!
Anyway,
that's terrible.
Not the villain.
Whoa.
No, he's expressed his he might retire soon, and his successor is Sebastian Vettel. That's who he'd want his successor to be.
Do you reckon Vettel would do that?
No. If Vettel should have a role in Formula One, it should be in the governing body. It should be in like the FIA. Because that's what they need. They need, instead of some corporate businessman, they need an actual Formula One driver. Again, one of caliber to sort of dictate where the sport should go. And we know of his off-track antics. He's very eco. He's very level-headed. I mean, he was like the head of the like driver union or whatever the fuck it is. Sainz has taken that over now, but it's. I think he'd have everyone's best interests at heart. He'd have the teams, the drivers, the fans. He'd know exactly what direction to put the sport in. But if he goes to Red Bull, I imagine that because I imagine that's Alonso's plan with Aston Martin is to stay in Aston Martin as a consultant more than anything, similar to what's it, Briatore in Alpine. I imagine that's the role that Alonso's gearing up for. I don't think he'd leave Aston Martin. He just won't be a driver. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty at the minute in the paddock, and all of it is central around Red Bull.
Yeah, they kind of are because they're obviously going to be the teams talk about people leaving and stuff because they've had a bit of a drop off in the last couple of seasons. But this is the problem. Like we've been saying, like, oh, what if this person leaves? Like, who do you reckon would go there? They'd be like, don't know. It was like
It is all what is.
If this driver wanted to leave, where do you think they'd go? I don't know. Like it's
The problem is every single team has a very solid driver lineup at the minute. Any of the teams worth going to. I mean, Audi have already decided on their lineups for the future, Hulkenberg and Bortoletto, and I think that could work out well, provided they've got the car there. I'm hoping they do because I'd love for another challenger. I don't know if there'll be a title challenger straight away, but there's a lot of uncertainty. Oh, Hulkenberg podium, please.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like. But then again, we said it last year. Like, well, if like obviously we knew Hamilton was leaving, and then that kind of caused if Hamilton's leaving, that means Sainz has got to go somewhere, and then it kind of all falls into place. But until someone makes that first move, it's just impossible to say. Like,
but do you think that move is inevitable? Is what I'm saying. Do you think that
Verstappen move?
Yeah. Do you think that black hole is going to form, and then everyone's going to start scrambling and panicking, or what? Would it be as simple as put Hadjar in that Red Bull?
I'd like to see Hadjar in that Red Bull. I would, because he's proven that he's immediately already better than Lawson. I think he out-qualified him, but then fell behind him in the race. And then the other races that he's been Lawson's teammate, Hadjar's out-qualified him and done him in the race as well. So I think, honestly, Red Bull, realistically, they don't need to go outside of the Red Bull family for drivers, because they've got Hadjar there. They've got that, what's his name, Lindblad, that you're creaming over, Archie.
Oh yeah, he won F2 as well this weekend.
Like Red Bull have some good drivers in their family that they can pick from.
Yeah, they've got, but would they want to go for an experienced driver already, one that's been proven? Because they've done it before with Perez. They could have easily, instead of getting Perez,
but that was a mistake.
Yeah, but they could have easily bumped Gasly back up to that seat, because Gasly had then proven himself to be pretty fucking competent at that point. Race winner, podium, multiple podiums. The only downside of that is we wouldn't have seen that absolute performance in that AlphaTauri in 2021.
Exactly. They just wanted money at that point, realistically, Red Bull. They
needed
wanted a cash cow, which was Perez, the amount of sponsors he had.
Yeah.
And realistically, Perez at that point, when he moved to Red Bull, he was decent. He wasn't that bad of a driver.
Well, that's what we're saying, though. That it's clearly that second Red Bull seat. Yeah, I think Yuki's doing a good job, and I don't think Perez would be doing any better than Yuki, right? But Yuki's younger and can develop, and they can keep him in that car.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know, because
it's
the thing with Red Bull is a lot. Yeah, it's just Red Bull tend to have, like they did with the Sapper, they have a really young driver come into that seat, and then they just focus it on him.
And telling you, Lindblad's that new one.
And then they have like the more experienced driver to kind of help guide the younger one through. But yeah, I don't know whether it's now time for that kind of cycle to restart. But yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. And I feel like everyone is happy where they are right now, apart
Well,
from
not
maybe
Lando Norris,
Verstappen.
clearly. Lando Norris clearly isn't happy with how bad that McLaren is, and how it's definitely not his fault.
Yeah, how it's definitely
Um,
not as quick as everyone thought it was.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, a lot of food for thought there,
Yeah.
listeners.
Tom, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think everything's all done.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for contributing, Tom. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
So I meet last week.
When's your next holiday?
When's it? End of the year, Las Vegas.
Oh,
Um,
fuck's sake.
yeah,
All right.
you've got me until the Vegas Grand Prix. Then I'm fucked off again.
You cut out again. All we heard was Grand Prix. We've got
I
you
heard
till Grand
Vegas,
Prix.
the Vegas Grand Prix.
Oh, I just heard I've got you till Grand Prix.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Okay, I think that about wraps everything up this week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it wasn't the most exciting of races. There's a few little chunks of gold in there, but
Well, yeah, give it time. It was like this at the start of last season as well.
exactly, it's gonna heat up. We're gonna have the Piastri. It's gonna be the Piastri, Verstappen,
It's Astro.
Piastri. What?
Oscar Pissass.
Yes, it's gonna be the Piastri, Verstappen title fight, but from a lot. It's gonna be the whole season, I think, and maybe Norris sniffing around, but I think
Well,
that's all
don't
it's
write
gonna
Russell
be.
out.
And Russell, yeah, Russell.
Don't write Russell out of that.
Yeah, even fucking Antonelli at this point.
Maybe not Antonelli, but Russell,
Yeah.
definitely.
You never know.
Never know.
He's sixth, so yeah. I mean, he's quite a ways away from a title fight, but yeah, realistically, it's going to be those top four. It's going to be a four-way battle for the title. So, got 19 more races to see who ends up on top.
Yep. I think it's a safe bet to say Piastri is definitely a favourite.
Yes, no, I think so. He's
Okay.
he's
Well,
proven himself.
I think that's about wraps things up. Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well,
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, we'll see you next week for something because there's no race, so we're gonna have to come up with something or other to talk about.
Oh.
So.
Unless nothing happens in the news in this week, I reckon we have a bit of a game night. What do we think?
How so? What do you mean game night?
No quizzes, stuff like that.
Maybe we could
You know,
work out.
I am a sucker for a quiz night.
Tom loves a quiz night.
He does love quiz night.
I do love a quiz night.
Get a
I
little
think that
Kahoot
could be
going.
good.
Yeah,
Definitely.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Well, we'll see you next week for either some news or a games night
Or both.
or both. Fuck it, why
Or
not?
neither. Who knows?
Or
Yeah,
neither. We
There's
might
gonna
not be
no podcast
asked.
next week. Yeah. Right. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Goodbye.